Hi, Mrs. Smith, and thanks for coming by to talk about your son Jim's math performance.
Sure, Miss Jones. I'm glad to meet you. How is Jim doing?
Let's take a look at this score report from our recent state math test to see how he did and how he compares to other students.
Okay, sure.
Have you already seen this?
Yes, but I had a little trouble making sense of it. There is so much information, I didn't even know where to start.
Okay, let me help. First, you should know that this test reports on your son's performance in each of 5 domains of mathematics. Here, there are 5 domains: ratios and proportional relationships, the number system, expressions and equations, geometry, and statistics and probability. Some of the 5 domains have subdomains as well, which represent more specific skills within those general domains, but let's ignore those here.
Okay,
One way to understand how your child is doing in a particular domain is to compare their number correct score to the total number of questions related to that domain.
makes sense.
Let's look at how he did for the domain expressions and equations. His number correct score was 6, and the total number of questions for that domain was 18. He answered 1/3 of them correctly.
Only a third. That's not good.
I agree, but let's just focus on interpreting the data rather than judging it for now.
Sure.
Another way to understand how your child is doing for a particular domain is to compare his number correct score to the average number correct score for some reference group, such as other students in the school, district, or state.
Okay.
Let's look at how he did, relatively speaking, for the domain statistics and probability. His number correct score was 8, and the averages for the school district and state were respectively 5.3, 5.3, and 4.6.
It sounds like he's doing better than average on those.
Exactly. He scored better than the average of each of those groups, for that domain at least.
I'm happy to hear that.
Do those ways of interpreting performance make sense? Do you have any other questions before I have to help the kids get off the bus?
Yes and yes. Which area of mathematics should I work on with my son over the summer?
That's a great question. Just looking at this quickly, I definitely say expressions and equations. For expressions and equations, he is performing most poorly in absolute terms. He got only 1/3 of the questions right.
Yeah.
But also, that's the only domain where he is performing appreciably lower than other kids in the school, district, and state.
Thanks, Miss Jones.
You're most welcome. I'll send you some instructional strategies or resources you can use related to expressions and equations. But I have to run.
Thanks again so much.
My pleasure. So long.